Dude, I can be in the Arctic Circle naked in a pool of ice and still sweat.
Hot.
I'm always hot. I run hot all the time. I mean, the guys they laugh at me when they're like, "How are you sweating in the snow?" I'm like, "I'm Italian. This is what Italians do. We sweat." You know, but hey, but you know what might help me not sweat so much?
What's that?
A cool bulletproof shirt.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah,
That's true.
We're over here at Maverick Tactical Armor. We're at Patrick Henshaw. This is the boss. And all right, listen, I'm a big fat guy, so it looks like I'm wearing body armor, but I'm not, because I don't know enough about body armor to figure out what's going to work for me in what situations. But Patrick decided he was going to step in, show us some of the stuff, and give me a little bit of an education. And hopefully you find some products that you guys could use to protect yourself.
Yeah.
Patrick, take it away. Tell us what we got.
Frank, let me show you some of the latest and greatest stuff that we have. This is our concealed shirt. It's a tank top shirt. I love the fact it's a tank top because, number one, it's not a long sleeve or a longer sleeve t-shirt kind of thing, so you've got less fabrics touching your body. So with sweating and all, it helps a little bit there. And then as far as the armor goes, it's a 3A armor. It weighs very little. So here, you feel that panel there. Very little weight to it, very, very thin.
It's like a pot holder.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people pick up this shirt, go, okay, can I try this shirt on with the armor in it? And I said, that is the armor, Frank.
Seriously, it's like 7 ounces.
Yeah, it's crazy. So yeah, you're probably a couple pounds actually.
For me, everything feels like
with both. With 2 panels, you're a couple pounds with 2 panels. And then those panels go in this shirt for front and back protection. Okay, not only that, we offer side plates as well. So you have a pocket in each side so you can have all the way around protection. It's a spandex shirt, so it fits tight to your body. It's good for executive protection, church security. If you're going to New York and or somewhere that
it may be illegal to buy body armor in New York, but I don't know if wearing it is also buy some body armor.
Yeah. So it is good for traveling. If you travel, sometimes you don't want to carry your pistol with you, or you can't maybe you're going overseas traveling. You can have something to protect yourself. So that's definitely something that you can carry, and it's a reasonable price. So that's,
what really level nice. Armor is this? Would be considered if this was like a ceramic?
Yep. So this is going to be a 3A. A lot of people know it as 3A. 3A is handgun coverage. Typically, it's going to go up to 44 Magnum. Now, Frank, we did just do these panels, had them tested at Element U.S. Space and Defense up in Maryland, Chesapeake, Maryland, and these are now rated for the new HG2 armor. So instead of 3A armor now, the rating is going to an HG2. So NIJ is switching over.
All right, so they're reclassifying. So
there you go.
You have to have a translator.
Good way to put it.
Right.
That's exactly what it is. And so the HG2 now, not only will this is tested for 9mm, it's tested for 44 Magnum, but it also goes up. We had the panels tested for FN57 by 28. So we're now into that little rifle cartridge in a handgun. Right. And I'm sure you know a lot more about that side of it than I do.
I was just talking with the guys over at Bear Creek about some things that we were thinking about, and one of those is in the 17 HMR family. That's one of the things we were thinking about. We were talking about body armor, and that's when they said, you got to go over a Maverick.
Okay.
So him and Steve said, we're going to Maverick, and that's when we came over.
Well, speed is what defeats armor. Right. Velocity is what defeats armor. So in the testing that we had with these 2 panels, you're looking at velocities of over 1,800 feet per second with that FN57. So we were really, really thrilled. We didn't have to meet that FN57 protection level for HG2. Right. That was just something we wanted to send a panel and say, hey, where do we fall in with that? Is it going to stop it or not? It was kind of exciting to kind of design something and test it and see, have an independent lab that's testing it to tell you what it will in fact stop.
Well, most companies are going to play the odds.
Right.
They're going to say, what is the likelihood of getting hit with these particular rounds? And it's going to be unlikely because of the infrequency of that particular caliber gun ownership.
Right.
You're most likely going to have 9mm, 380, 40 cal,
That's
maybe.
Right.
Even 10 mil is lower on the spectrum. 44 is even lower than 10 mil because it's not cost effective.
Right.
So you're in the spectrum of what is your most likely risk of being assailed.
And that is the number one question that I ask people when they come up to me and go, hey, you know, show me some body armor. And I say, okay, number one question, what are you looking to stop? What caliber? When you're looking for body armor, that's the number one thing you got to think. What are you looking to stop? Is your scenario probably I'm out in public and it could be handgun, like you said, 40, 9mm, things of that nature? Or are you thinking maybe civilian unrest? I want to protect my home, so I need some rifle protection.
Right.
Now I want to bump up into some rifle protection. And on that, do you want to segue into the rifle plate?
Sure, absolutely.
So this is the handgun. This is great. Also, in this also we have like backpack armor. So you carry a backpack, put this panel in your backpack, and now you got backpack protection, which you're carrying with you all the time.
Right.
So transitioning over to the.
I'm going to swing the camera over a little bit.
So Frank, in this, so now you're looking at.
I want to make sure my fatness
Do we need to switch sides?
No, I can just move this over. I just want to make sure that I'm out of frame enough that we can see that.
So, so if people say, they come up and say, Frank or Patrick, I want to do something higher than handgun rounds. I'll need some rifle protection. Then we're coming over to the composites, and we're looking at some polyethylene examples. And with this, I want you to feel the weight of this. Would you consider that lightweight?
I would think so.
That's very lightweight. That's 3.5 pounds. Polyethylene plate, and now you're stopping. That plate will stop what steel will stop. And you're doing it about a third the way.
When did we start getting into polyethylene?
Yeah, so this has been a while actually, but as materials have gotten better and the manufacturing has gotten better, it's made for better, lighter plates.
Because I know that in my former industry of construction, porcelain polyethylene is what we would use in PEX tubing,
right?
Because of its flexibility and its durability.
Okay.
So you could porcelain polyethylene in tubing would expand to 20 times its original diameter and then come back down to size and retain its original shape. It's like memory.
Yeah.
And tremendous amount of shock absorption.
Gotcha.
So it makes sense that it would be something that could be used for this because it's going to help dissipate the energy once it's absorbed.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Now, are these rated for like redundancy?
Yes. So number one, all of our plates are standalone plates. That is something else that your audience, as they're listening, needs to know, and yourself as well, is that some companies will sell ICW plates in conjunction with. Right. So you need to be careful as you're looking at plates, as you're buying body armor, that you need a standalone plate. Well, you can get an ICW plate, but that just means that you need this panel right here underneath it to make it be the total protection. In our case, what we do is we make standalone plates. Excuse me. So this is a standalone plate. You need nothing else with this to stop the threats that this is rated for. And so with this, you're in a level 3 rating. Now you're with your 308 M80 ball. Your AK rank, 7.62 by 39. Your 5.56 lead core. So the polyethylene plate basically gives you a lead core stopping power. And basically is what that plate is at 3.5 pounds.
And up to what caliber you think we're looking at?
So the caliber, like I said, 308, AK, and AR.
AK,
so really in that threat range, I would say the AR would be
probably the most popular, most random, the one that we would fear getting hit with
that
the
is
most.
correct.
The frequency of it being carried.
Right. And so then to segue from that to the next plate, basically what I tell people is in this plate right here that we're looking at, we're talking about lead core. Lead core range. Lead core AK, lead core 5.56. If that's what you're wanting to protect yourself with, this is a great plate. But a lot of people will come up to me and go, Patrick, man, I shoot a lot of green tip. That's what I shoot, and I know it's pretty easy to get. So
Somebody else might have it too.
I think I want some green tip protection. Okay, that's our next step up. So we're going to go to the Y2 Max. The Max plate here incorporates ceramics now. Anytime you're talking about an armor piercing bullet, which a green tip is a light armor penetrator, once you're talking about some armor penetrating, you got to throw ceramics in there. Your polyethylenes, your Kevlars, things like that will not stop green tip armor penetrators. So now we go to this plate. The YM2, now you're about 1 pound heavier. You get a little bit heavier, still not bad.
Still carryable.
Yeah, you're a little over 4.5 pounds.
And now you can hear a difference.
So now you've got that ceramic on the face and then the polyethylene on the back. The polyethylene helps with the back face deformation. When a big bullet hits, that polyethylene, like you said, it kind of expands and absorbs.
In the back.
That's right.
The front is meant to interrupt. The back is meant to absorb and
That's right.
dissipate.
That's right. And so that's what ceramic does. And the ceramic stop that armor penetrating. So now this plate stops everything this one does, but now it stops the M8 backfire.
I notice every one of the plates is serialized.
Right.
Every one of the plates has a born date.
Right.
It has a lot number. Everything, well, because a lot of people don't realize that body armor has an expiration date.
Right.
At least the old one did, as far as Kevlars though.
Yeah,
you know,
we do. We call it a warranty. There's a 5-year warranty period with our plates, but you're certainly right.
Is there any degradation over time that you have to be concerned
Yes,
with?
I would say there is, and that is one of the number one questions that we get, Frank, is that people come up and say, oh man, I know I can't wear this place longer than 5 years. Well, that's not necessarily true. We give a 5-year warranty, but I tell people it's just like anything. If you have, a truck, I'm not going to say a brand because somebody's going to disagree with me on a brand, but a truck. You got a truck, it'll last you probably 300, 400,000 miles if you take care of it.
And that was the next question I was going to ask you. Maintenance
Right.
on these things.
Right.
You're wearing something up against your body, you're going to be in touch with dirt, sweat,
Right.
Body contamination and stuff like that.
Right.
What is the care and upkeep
Right.
of these things to keep them good?
So basically, and that also translates into how long I would say you can wear it. If you're wearing it every day, you're a police officer, you're security, you're military, you're wearing this stuff every day, you're training in it, that I would say the 5-year period is a time when you probably do want to replace it because you do have sweat up against this. You are putting it in your vehicle every day in some heat, UV light potentially. If this is in a carrier, it's not getting UV light, but it is getting heat. So you want to keep it as much away from very extreme heats and moisture. Those are the two things.
Well, if you have to keep away from moisture, what are the methodologies for keeping them clean and fresh? Because you're sweating on this every day.
So
you don't want it stinking to high heaven when you're trying to.
Right.
Hey, I tell it like it is. Nobody wants to stink.
Yeah. So typically your carrier is going to capture most of that.
a lot of it.
Yeah.
But then you got your soft stuff. That would be one of the things I'm concerned with.
Well, this is on the soft now. Back to the soft. That's a waterproof cover.
All right, so that's waterproof.
That's waterproof. Yeah. So you don't have to worry. All you have to do with this is to keep the stink out. You just wipe it down with a little damp rag.
Somebody behind me giving me the Mr. Miyagi over there. Who's that over there?
Oh, that's my wife. I love my wife. She's a big part of what I do. She supports me.
Isn't that great?
Awesome.
Isn't that great? Have somebody support you when you give you that little push out the door and kick in the ass and say, get out to work, make the world a better place. It's awesome.
Yeah, she travels with us and that's a lot for us.
All right, so let's. I gotta wrap it up soon because my battery logo's getting going. But give us a couple of price indexes of what we're looking at, front and back.
So in our older 3A. Our price point for the shirt is around $300 for the front and back.
Okay.
For the new HG2 panel, it's going to be about $400 front and back with the shirt.
Okay.
So that's sort of that price range on that. Starting with plates like this, you're at $299 a plate. If you bump up to the ceramic where this has got the silicon carbide ceramic, which is a lightweight ceramic, and it's an expensive ceramic. You bump up to $3.99 a plate. And then our level 4 plate's on the other side of the room, but basically it's very similar to this, but it's at level 4. The level 4 plate simply takes you from the 5.56 all the way up to a 30-06 black tip. So that's the highest level of protection you can get.
Right. After that, just God is the only thing to protect you after that.
At that point, that's right. I have a lot of people say, do you have anything to stop 50 cal? It wouldn't matter. Because if you got hit with that and it stopped the bullet, you'd be jello inside anyway.
Yeah, the recoil impulse of that round alone is it. Right. I did happen to notice that this particular plate was born on April 16th.
Gotcha.
So was I.
Oh, were you?
Yeah,
that's awesome.
So me and this plate have a kinship.
That's awesome.
I'm a little older, but still, we share a birthday. That's special.
That's cool.
All right, so now where can everybody find you guys on your brand?
So we're MaverickTactical.com. Find us online. We have a YouTube channel. Check us out, Maverick Tactical LLC. On Instagram, you can find us there.
Okay, so we order, you ship direct?
We do. So if you order, there's only a couple states we can't ship to. Can't ship to New York, and I can't ship to Connecticut.
Right. So if you live in New York or Connecticut, know somebody who lives in Jersey. I'm not trying to. Hey, listen. He's not saying it.
You said
I'm
that.
saying it.
Right.
Because in what world do we live in where some maniacal governor decides to tell you that your life is not worth protecting, but hers is? Protect yourself.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, you know.
And if you can, vote with your feet. Get out of New York.
It's a protection.
I did.
It's defensive protection device. You know, it's not an offensive thing. It's a defensive thing. If you just want this in your home where you can put something on to cover yourself in case you have a home invasion or whatever, I don't understand.
They tell us that they don't want to give body armor, but then they complain about kids getting shot at school.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So now they've made it illegal to protect your children with a backpack.
Right. Exactly.
Do they care about you? No. They don't. They just want to control you. But I'm allowed to say that. It's my YouTube channel. They just have awesome products. Your wife is laughing at me going like this.
Frank,
that's all right.
I did want to mention one more thing. We are Agilite.
You're an Agilite distributor.
Yep, on the East Coast. Agilite gear is phenomenal. It's Israeli Special Forces gear. It's the best gear on the planet. It's just phenomenal. Look at the YouTube videos. Watch a lot of people that have used it. Don't take my word for it. Watch the YouTube videos and people that have trained with it and use it. But we also sell that. That's also on our website.
And you guys, what state are you guys based out of?
We're out of North Carolina.
Just like me.
Yeah, there you go. So we're out of Burlington.
A free state.
Elon. Let's use the Elon. Because we love Elon Musk too. So we're in Elon, North Carolina.
Elon, North Carolina.
Yep.
Well,
center of the state.
I'm just out of Charlotte, so. Yeah. But listen, check these guys out. Awesome people, awesome company, awesome products. Get safe, protect yourself. If you can't with this, at least with this, but do something.
Right.
Thank
you, Frank.
And I noticed that Patrick looks remarkably like who's that?
I get a
Dennis
Quaid.
Dennis Quaid, ladies and gentlemen. Dennis Quaid. Dennis Quaid, one of my favorite actors. You were fantastic in Frequency. You guys, as always, be safe and shoot straight.